Hello and welcome to What's Stitching in the Cottage? Hi, I'm Jean with Captain Stitches. Come on in and let's see what have I been doing this past week. Well, first of all, I've been keeping my eye on the weather for the most part. Yeah, we've had the storms coming through here and all that, but enough of the weather and whips down here. Yes, let's get right to it and see what I have been working on, what's been stitching in the cottage. So, I do have a new quilt that I'm starting with a friend that we will be working on each our own quilt, but together. And it is called Twisted Sisters, which this isn't a great, beautiful example of the quilt, but that is what we will be working on. But we are using batiks instead in the colorway of pink and turquoise. So in here are all my baggies labeled and everything with everything cut and ready to go to start working on that quilt. So that was quite a bit of work getting that all done, all labeled and ready to go. But so hopefully next week you'll see some of that in progress. What else has been stitching in the cottage? Well, it is a new month. It is April. And there are several of us in my one little group, private group that I have that are working on this is a Kathy Schmitz. Let me open it all the way up so you can see it. But this is a Kathy Schmitz panel. It's called Woven Reeds. And if you are interested in it, you can find it on Spoonflower. Just go into Spoonflower, put Kathy Schmitz in the search, and her Spoonflower shop will show up in there with everything that she has to offer. And this is one of them. And we are doing this as a stitch along. And we just started this week. And I have the little snowman up here completely done. And I have started, that looks funny, but I think it's because yeah, my needle's in there and hanging down. And I have started on the heart one right here. It's not completed, but we will be doing that together, and we are going to work on at least one of the little hexagons with the embroidery per week until we are finished with it. So that, and there are 12 of them. So it'll take us about 12 weeks. And then we should have that done and ready to be put together with some backing and quilt and do with it as we each like. But it's always fun to have something that you can stitch along with others on. It makes it, what should I say? Instead of just doing something by yourself, it's always more fun to be doing it with friends. So that is going on. And of course, I have this week, I wasn't able to much last week, but this week I did work some more on the denim jacket that I'm embroidering and doing some slow stitching and everything on. And as you can see, I finished that middle part, that middle flower in there. All the petals are done on that. And I have added, yeah, the rest of the purple with the pearls going around that. And then there is, let me see if I can hold this way. I've started adding the yellow, which I did. I did it part way just so that I knew and could decide on the colors that I was using working out so I could plan that. So I have worked on the yellow part here, and I have worked on the pink part here, and that has pink pearls going along that. And then I have worked on the turquoise portion out here. And I think, yeah, down here on this part, you can see that it has white pearls that are added along as we go there. So it is coming along. No, I didn't get any more done on WIP. I'm going to spell that because he's down below me being good now. And if I say his name, he might pop up here. So, but I didn't get any more done on him, but hopefully this week I will finish him, and I will have to start on with Stitches, our other dog, and add on there as well. But whoops, we're going to tip that over. Better do that a little better there. And then many of you have seen me work on this before, and it is one that I'm bringing back out from the past that is not finished, and I am going to start working on it again, and therefore I am working, and this is a little hard to see because it's just the part that is going to be the collage. And of course, those of you that know, this is for the quilt that I am designing on the go called Brain Fog, which happened one afternoon when I was just sitting there like the picture shows, with my head in my hands, staring into space, trying to figure out what I was going to do. And the idea of brain fog came to me. So a quilt is being designed all around that thought and this photo, which when you flip that up, you can see the photo under there. I think there's the color one also, so I can see the color, but that is sketched out and ready to start sorting the fabrics and making that into a collage to put on the quilt. So I think that is everything as far as the stitching that I got done in the Stitching Cottage this week. So on to your next favorite part, which is mail haul. What did I get in the mail this week? See if I can move this back out of my way and pull this forward. The little mail bin, which with this laying right at my feet and not moving. But you remember the organizing tote that I showed you last week? Well, they are on sale right now, and I filled the first one up that I had very quickly, and they had a special if you bought two. So I ordered two more in this colorway. And for those of you that may have missed it, it is filled with all these wonderful, there's 6 different partitions in here that you can fill with all of your stuff. If you do hand stitching projects, this is fabulous. Even if you do, regular quilts, you can put all your pre-cut pieces in there, have everything in there ready to go, take to a class or a group if you're going, or just to have handy to grab when you're on the go and keep organized. So love those. Highly, highly recommend them. And then the next thing that I got, one of my favorite designers that has been around for a long time, specializes in kind of folk art type of applique, is Jan Paddock. Almost forgot her name there for a minute. And she had a sale going on, and I came across this kit that I will open and show you in a minute. But the one thing that came with it is this sandpaper board. So I have another one of those. Always great, come in very handy. And this is just a regular piece of thin board with the sandpaper adhered to the front. But the kit came in this cute little handmade bag with the drawstring, which actually says Jan Paddock Quilts on it. I didn't notice that before. Nice. But I always save those and somehow incorporate them into a slow stitch project. But this was a kit for applique with everything in it that you need to complete the kit, which this is the pattern. It is called Cedar Creek, and it is 24 by 18. And yes, it is applique. Will be done in needle turn applique. So in this came all of this box is filled with, folded up, all the threads. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 threads in here, and they are by Wonderful Athena, and they are the different colors that will be needed to do the applique in there. So that was nice. And then in this box are all the tools that you're going to need to do it. There is a Soline glue pen with refill in there. And there is, that's funny, there is a thimble. There is also, all right, come apart here. Tape is stuck. Pins. There's just everything in here that you may need. And there is also the yeah, the bias tape maker that will be used for some of the applique. It's the 1/4 inch one, which is the one that will be needed to complete that project. And there is also, last but not least, a package of the needles that you will need for doing the applique. So everything included in that little kit to be able to make that pattern, which I thought was really neat. So, and then another one of the things that I got, make sure I don't show the front of this envelope. I've made that mistake before. I've learned not to do that. But I was sent by one of the gals that is a member of my group, and she also has her own YouTube channel as well. But she was working and she held up this fabric and showed it, and I happened to say, ooh, I need some of that fabric for a slow stitch project. So she very kindly sent me some of that fabric. And then she also included some leftovers of the other fabrics she was working with at the time. And she sent 2 sections for a Dresden plate to use in whatever way I want. The little fan Dresden sections and the circle that goes in the middle. So just really awesome. And I don't think she will mind if I mention her name, but I think I'll wait until this comes out and she may be in the chat and I can ask her permission before going ahead and mentioning her name. But that came from one of the wonderful subscribers of my channel and a member of my one private Facebook group. So thank you again. Almost said her name there. But and then I have been researching more, as I showed you last week, on the collage quilts. And the book that I got was from Collage Quilter, and she also has a shop on her site. And in her method of doing the collage, she suggests purchasing 1/8 yard of fabrics. And there's not many shops that will cut 1/8 of a yard, but she does, and she sells them already in these beautiful colorways, ready to go and use in your collage quilting. So I got it's kind of the greenish blues colorway, and I forget how many are in there, but let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There are 17 1/8 yard cuts in each package of these. The other that colorway that I got is in the pinks. And so that's just to get a little start. Wanted to see how they were. So I have those. Oh, and that reminds me, one of the other things that I did do this week was I took all of my scraps to one great big bin that I had, and I sorted them all by color, and the pieces that were smaller that I didn't feel that I would use to start off with by putting fusible webbing and stuff on the back, I put those in with my slow stitching instead. So now I have the fabrics scraps all started and organized by color. So forgot that I did that also this week. And then I had you helping me choose on colorway on some fat quarters that I had chosen for a quilt that I'm going to be doing. And we kind of came across the census that the fabric that I had in the pink, which is this one, was the one that got chosen the most. Well, I didn't have enough of this fabric. I still really don't have enough. Thus, I'm going to be using two fabrics for the background instead. I'm going to be using this along with the yardage that I already had in that. And I am going to be using this gray with it and alternating the gray and the pink. So I will go ahead and let you know because you're probably wondering, what? Alternating the background with pink and gray? The quilt that I am going to start making is a cathedral window, which is going to be all done by hand. So when I alternate these, it will end up in the cathedral window part. They will be like diagonally across. There'll be gray, gray, pink, pink, all in the same little open cathedral window there. So it should turn out very nice. So I'm going to start cutting the squares for that this week. And let me see, last but not least, something fell down there, but is I have never been real good on remembering what the colors are called, what sections they are, and that type of thing. So to be able to do a little better on the collage and learn the correct way, I ordered a color wheel, one that has a lot of information on it, two-sided, to help me with that and to get more acquainted with the color names, the yeah, which what do we have here? We have the warm and the cool, which are warm colors, which are cool colors. The tints is on this side, and then it also shows what are split can complementary and complementary colors, which are pure colors. And then on this side, it shows the tones and shades. And what else does it show? Yeah, the color schemes talks about and everything, but has all the information for learning and everything on that. So that's going to be a very resourceful tool for me. And that is everything. So yeah, it always seems like so little, but it really, yeah, takes a lot of time, especially that denim jacket that I'm working on. That really has a lot of hours in that and a lot of hours to go yet. And of course, the ones that I have coming up, because they are all handwork, except for the Twisted Sisters, they're going to be a little time consuming as well, but very therapeutic. It is what really puts me at peace, fills my soul, great, great therapy, and keeps me using my hands. And so there you have it. That is what's stitching in the cottage. And I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope maybe I have inspired you to try something different. And as I work on some of these, I will be doing videos to share some of that as well. So thank you everyone for joining me this evening. Don't forget that thumbs up, always appreciated. And until next time, I can keep you in stitches. Bye-bye, everyone.